I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking psycho, fucking insane. That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it,
That is
dude. You
good.
nailed it.
Yeah.
You nailed it. And you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan there,
You
dude.
did.
You fucking,
Oh, Joe Rogan. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
you did. You visually transformed
That's
yourself into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.
Yeah! Set for life, scarred for life. Set for life, scarred for life. Set for life, scarred for life. Fucking insane!
It's insanity.
It's insanity. Ginate. That is a commercial from the 70s. What was the product? 2,000 big room bucks. Speaking of which, welcome to the
Shaving
big
cream
room.
for ladies.
David.
Was it? It was some kind of, I think it was a body splash.
I'd pull it up, but we might get kicked off and banned forever.
Welcome to the big room where you might transform into Joe Rogan, get kicked off and banned forever.
Right.
Like the rest of us.
The Scotch first.
Sorry,
I mean, the
lot.
Scotch bourbon first.
Who doesn't transform into Joe Rogan every once in a while?
Right?
Everybody. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Welcome to the big room, everybody. It is Wednesday night from 9 to 11 to question mark. You are here with us every week. Every week we see you, we hear you, we read your comments in the past, present, and future because we are on. You could watch our post broadcasts on YouTube as well as our Facebook channel. But right now, obviously, live on Twitch. We are the gamers, and we are the dreamers of the dream. Tonight,
that's been my wake up all week. Is
nice.
Pure Imagination.
Oh, the song?
Yeah. The Gene Wilder.
Can't beat it.
Pure Imagination. Can't beat waking up to that song.
Oh gosh, that song has been playing it's in my playlist, and when I'm relocating, I put on my playlist on random, and I often speak to my spirits. And and kind of talk about interacting, play the song, be the soundtrack of the now. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that song has pulled out. It's come out of the woodwork. It's extremely interesting times. Very often, believe it or not, when I was pulling into Black Cat Moan Studios to record a couple songs.
Oh,
and
nice.
it's like as I'm pulling up, it's like. Yeah.
It was unstoppable today, dude. I had my alarm set. Mm-hmm. I woke up a few minutes, which I do a lot. I woke up before the alarm, which happens a lot. Hey, bye. Hey, bye. Oh, bye. Hey, bye. But I haven't.
Boy, do we know how to have a good time.
Yeah, we do.
But
that terrified me, by the way, K-Rock.
That terrified the
I thought this was I was watching Body Double,
But I have a
5,000 big
to. I have a tendency to wake up just inherently 3 or 4 minutes before my alarm goes off every
day. Uh-huh.
Yeah, right. I rarely get woken up by my alarm. I just wake up a few minutes before and I cancel it. Right.
That's nice.
Yeah, sometimes I'll cancel it. Sometimes. So today I woke up. I was like, Alexa, what time is it? Told me the time. I was like, 5 minutes. Waking up. All right, Alexa, cancel alarm. At which point the phone rings and it's a work call. It's one of my clients calling me. So I'm talking to the client dealing with the situation that happened. And all of a sudden, Pure Imagination starts to go off in the background. So I'm talking to the client and I'm going, right, yeah, what was from Good Morning America, or the person calling was from Good Morning America. And Alexa, stop. and the client as a
Also has one.
yeah, and she's like, I'm sorry, what was that? And I was like, no, it's not. Sorry, my Alexa started playing a song, and I had to stop it. She's like, oh, okay. You know, it's just like, it was classic because it was like in the middle. Alexa, stop! I'm sorry.
And what is the song? Fascination?
No. Pure imagination.
Pure imagination.
Yeah, Willy Wonka, Gene Wilder.
Different than keep feeling fascination.
Right.
300 big room bucks. What was the name of the British band? They were a part of the new romantic wave coming out of Britain. It should be 800? 800 big room bucks.
Yeah, that's a good one. I mean, that song actually still pops up on the radio, I think, everyone.
In my playlist.
Such a
my Jafar does not like that song.
What? Really? I thought it was just so.
So did I, but I've noticed when it comes up in my playlist, she's like, Alexa, next song. It's I think it's the I know it's the hook drone. It has that kind of it's a sample, you know what I mean? It's like a keyboard sample. Anyway, I love it. And I love the two girls with the short hair, obviously, with the bangs and
is it that, or is it like, you know, she can't take the sexiness of the girls' voices singing?
She can't take the sexiness, probably. I mean,
probably. That's
tough to say.
You know, it's like, meow. I don't want to hear you, sexy. I want to be a sexy one.
That was good. That was good.
That's classic.
Woo! Keep feeling fascination.
Didn't your cousin Tracy used to do that? I just had a flashback to Big Room. Like
I
do. There is something with what you're doing there.
She did that. She
was like a hex.
She did that. Your
Carla from Cheers.
She's dead now.
Yeah, she's
dead.
Crazy
also
too.
Dead. But there was a thing where she would. Oh no! Wait.
Okay.
There was a girl in our grade school, Wanda Miller.
Why you got to say the first and last name?
Yeah, why you gotta say the first last name all the time?
I mean, there's
you
not
Shamora.
Millers. You guys will never. Anybody watching her will never. Okay, Shamora. I love the precautions you're taking for a 35-year reach back. That's good. That's good. That's good to protect
Facebook is buying Twitch as we speak. So I mean, like,
right? It's only a matter of time for
man. But this dude, Chris wrote. I'm not going to say his last name.
Coming in third.
She would go. She
hey, wait. What if we do this?
People.
What if we make an announcement that from henceforth, from now on, anytime we say the first and last name of a person, it's completely made up.
Oh yeah, because we do this. We plan it in advance,
right? So if you say the first and last name of a person,
it's a made up name because
it's a made up name. It's not the real name.
It's not.
Right.
Gotcha. Well, she would go around going.
And if it accidentally is a real name, the story is made up.
Right.
And then one time she got down and started barking like a dog at this dude's feet, and he kicked her in the face. Like, which was,
horrible,
not good.
But this is junior high you're talking about.
Everybody's like, oh no, yeah, this is going back to like 5th grade.
But in this young boy's defense, he was mauled by a dog when he was 4.5.
Right.
A dog named Wanda.
Oh my God. When do you guys want to see this? You just got to see this thing I got to share with you guys.
Apparently we got to see this. Hey, wait, I have a question though. What do we got to see? No, just joking. Ad hoc. You look like you have a tasty beverage. What are you drinking?
Oh man.
BB, what are you glitching?
This is Casadores tequila.
Oh,
I tried to I wanted to make a margarita with it, but I don't have any margarita mix. But I did have seltzer, Lime seltzer. I added some extra lime juice to it and a little lemon wedge. And then I needed something to sweeten it up. So I added some of that super sweet ginger soda, that ginger beer.
Yeah.
Ginger tree or whatever it's called, fever tree. And I can't add too much of that stuff. There's way too much sugar in it, but there was just enough to make this not sweet, but still tart. And it's actually a really nice drink.
You have to drink that often.
BB, you got the what is it called? An auto tuner. Got some auto tuning going on.
Yeah.
Yeah, T.I. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Oh, we lost BB.
T-Pain.
Bringing the pain.
Go drunk me. Go fund me.
Go drunk us through.
Right now. There you're back. I think you're back.
Am I back down? Is it better?
Dude, give the pitch. Give the what is this? What's this?
That's if you want Ad Hoc to drink a certain kind of margarita or tequila, just go here, and you can make that happen.
You have the power.
You
over him.
Over him. What?
Over a king.
We don't broadcast from the same location, so us all drinking the same thing would be quite difficult.
But it won't be,
I will accept all donations on our behalf and expand my liquor cabinet. Guys, it's no problem. I don't mind.
Are you sure?
It
sounds like a difficult thing.
Hey, everyone knows King Ad Hoc.
And everybody knows Jafar has power, so I look out. She just predicted your tomorrow.
Cast a spell on me.
I think she may have.
I did have two shots worth.
She cast a spell on you
to try to. It worked. I feel good. I feel good seeing you guys, man. It's always nice. My energy shoots up.
Like a
kiku.
Paga.
Hey.
Pick like Doc.
Yeah, I definitely been missing you guys. It feels like it's been much longer than 1 week since we were together.
Last week seemed like a longer week. Yeah.
Would he do this? He would do this.
Yeah,
right?
He did.
Well,
yeah, when he was talking to us when we were between the ages of 6 and 10 about his sexual escapades during World War II.
Yeah,
the Korean War. Someone I don't know. Yeah,
I think it was the Korean War. I think it was Korean.
Yeah, but that's a made-up name, by the way.
Yeah, it's a totally made-up name.
All right.
Yes, nothing gay happened when he made us sit on his lap. Other than we sat on his lap or sat next
to you.
Depends on how you define that.
I mean, nothing more gay than that.
There was a little S&M. He asked us.
I don't mean gay. I mean,
right.
Child molestationally.
I mean,
that's what I meant.
Right. There was a little S&M though. He did have us pull his arm hair out.
Oh yeah, the gray ones, and then he would have us do this, so it would turn into little silver springs. They would if you did zip that, the straight hair would go.
Your nails, it would go. Yeah. There was a little S&M.
That was weird. Yeah, it was part of a weird thing that happened to us as children. But thankfully,
when we were little kids, he did ask us to kiss his cheek. But I mean,
hey, we have a request from the audience.
So the audience asked us to stop, and you must stop.
It got
otherwise penalties will be. What is it? How's it go?
Otherwise,
penalties will be enforced.
No, otherwise,
and
penalties.
What is it?
Penalties will be something and enforced.
I'd pull it up. But
created. Oh yeah, the D. That's a Tenacious D reference.
Yeah.
You out there listening, get a couple bucks if you put it in the type.
Man, I'm telling
typing
you,
things.
It's hard to believe the D's been around for 20 years.
Yes, indeed.
More than that.
95, 94 to 97.
Crazy.
Somewhere in that window.
Wow. I remember watching those in the big room with you guys.
It better.
Yes.
in the original big room.
Explosivo. I remember K-Rock got a postcard back from them.
Yeah.
Explosivo.
We still have that somewhere.
That's pretty awesome.
With a picture of both of them on it, and
with the kind of Tide logo.
Yeah,
kind of the rings, the bullseye, Explosivo.
That's
and it's not hard to believe that King Ad Hoc, BB Rumble, the Monk, Jafar, and the Hand of K-Rock, and Riggedy Shizzle were all invited to watch them perform a live concert for us. That's how my memory works.
Was Lemon Blade there, or am I just crazy?
And Lemon Blade was there. Yes, that's right. That is correct. Yes.
Yeah, we didn't know Lemon Blade was going to be there, and all of a sudden, hey,
it's like, hey, Jack Black called you too to come and watch him perform with the Cage,
the new album.
It was, that was, dude. All the projections, and the story was redonkadoo.
Yeah.
I was not expecting any of that. I had no idea there was a new album. He never told me.
No.
Isn't this a nice little vessel, by the way?
That is. What T?
What
are
I drink?
you drinking?
Adam, I didn't hear you. Ad Hoc, what's up?
Oh yeah, I was talking.
He was focusing and
just wasn't moving my mouth, and you just.
Oh, I see. I did hear it in my mind.
I was glitched for a second.
Sure. I am consuming two different beverages. I had a quick drink of coffee before coming down to the studio. I am having this in this lovely crystal container right here.
Cool looking.
Is this? Yes, it is a Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, okay. Wow. I almost drank that tonight.
Yes.
Red wine.
That's very weird. I almost had wine yesterday and I didn't.
That is weird.
That's really weird for us because we're not normally.
Not at all. Maybe it has to do with the lunar eclipse. Which, by the way, the lunar eclipse that happened today occurred at 11:11 a.m. Universal Standard Time.
No way.
And then shut down at 11:26 Universal Standard Time. But this is a lovely cab salve via Boda Box.
Nice.
Ching.
Nice.
With look at that froth. Look at that.
Frothy milk chaser. Yeah.
I say froth, but it means something else. Look at that.
Frosty.
Crystallization.
Right.
Yes. That is gin.
Frozen gin.
How'd you get it so cold?
It's a tin or some kind of container that I'm drinking out of.
Oh,
it's just ice cubes.
That's ice cubes. Okay. They always put the Moscow Mule, which is basically what I'm drinking, is the Moscow Mule, which makes no sense because tequila is not from Russia, nor is ginger.
No.
So ginger beer. So I don't know why ginger beer.
It's called a Moscow Mule.
And tequila is called a Moscow Mule, and it has to be served in
what?
A
Gina Jafar just dropped a huge bomb on us.
Really?
Yesterday was National Wine Day, and it doesn't mean WHINE.
Well, Brian, you were totally tuned in. I mean, BB, you were totally tuned into that.
No wonder you blew out your internet.
Right.
You don't even need the internet to broadcast. You're just tuned into the 111 of the National Wine Holiday.
Yes, indeed. Tune in Tokyo.
Hey, T, you got new colored nails today. You white outed them instead of the black. Oh, you do got one black one.
You know what? Yes, indeed. So it was really interesting. On maybe we could watch this later. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. It was Queen live at the Rainbow Room.
Cool.
Amazing concerts. You should pull it up and watch a little something from it. But what was interesting from it, it's such an intimate space, and Ad Hoc knows because he lived right there. This guy, hey, as a matter of fact, Freddie, who I brought him out tonight as a background because he's going to be going into a show next month.
Oh, nice.
By the way.
Nice.
So I don't know if he'll be
Yeah.
back in the studio. Freddie and my Madonna piece are going into a pop
Box art?
rock. No, a Curio Cole in Harmer around the Zelienople area. And they have a huge, it's a really interesting space. They just got a new location on the main drag, and they have a huge Star Wars room and collectibles. And they've had some people
near Harmer.
I'm sorry, I did say Harmer. It's Harmony.
Cranberry. It's
Harmony.
Cranberry.
Harmony and Zelienople and Cranberry. Yeah. But nevertheless, Harmony. They have a huge one of the co-owners who's an artist that we first met at the same art show that I met LBM, Lucas B. Miller, and consequently Jafar, my wife.
Who is
Jason Shore. He and his wife opened a place called Curio Cole, and they have a huge collectible space and art gallery. So he's a Star Wars fanatic. You know, he does all of the Stormtroopers shows and stuff like that with another individual that I work in the films with. Nevertheless, check it out. Curio Cool. You can find it on Instagram and Facebook. And if you're in the Western Pennsylvania area of the United States of America, please do visit, where this painting will be on display next month, as well as my Madonna piece.
So why don't you do a Star Wars piece for the show? Oh, is that a different thing? That's a different type of show.
They have a whole other gallery just for all their Star Wars memorabilia.
Star Wars related type of art.
Memorabilia. No, just memorabilia. It's a store. It's a memorabilia store kind of thing. Collectibles. Yeah. And he had somebody from The Mandalorian there signing autographs a couple weeks ago or months ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You don't know who?
No, I don't. But anyway, what the hell was I talking about?
Old Curio and Zelienople.
Prior to that, it feels like I was talking. Oh yeah, Freddie Mercury.
Mercury.
Oh, the fingernail polish. So
Yes,
live from the Rainbow Room via circa 74, I believe it was. It was interesting because if you go back and watch our last episodes, I was saying that Freddie Mercury was he was very candid with the audience. It's like it's such a small room, like Ad Hoc has been there, and he said it's a smaller room, and he talked to the audience almost too much. Like the mystique was gone as far as watching this concert. It was odd. You know, like I love the mystique we grew up with where musicians and artists had a mystique about them, and you didn't know what happened in Paisley Park. You didn't know what they really were. They were just always in these amazing characters that they wrote as, you know what I mean? And Freddie Mercury was one of those, even in his interviews. But this show, he was so candid. It was odd to me. But at one point, he pointed out his nail polish and said that he's wearing black nail polish. And Brian May was wearing white nail polish. And he said, are you wearing your nail polish tonight? To the audience. And are you wearing your black nail polish or your white nail polish? In a way that it seemed like maybe if you wore black, you're a Freddie fan. If you're wearing a white nail polish, you're a Brian May fan. It was really interesting. It's like how they were like trying to grab their fan base and do a little interaction with them through nail polish. And it was funny because it was shortly before that I asked Jafar to bring if she could find white nail polish because I was feeling it.
Really? And that's not white out. It's actually white nail polish.
It's not white out. It's chipped up because, we were at BB Rumble's sister's wedding down in Virginia Beach. And we all painted our nails.
Tell us a little bit about that, dude.
It was great.
Well, it looks cool, man. It looks cool. Definitely reminds me of an outfit Freddie might have worn. Black and white stripes, leotard.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. His
tie your mother down.
Tie your mother down. It's
from that video, bro. Is that what it was?
Yeah, he definitely wore that and tie your mother down. Yeah.
Not what do they call that?
Is this the archaeology?
Curio, possibly. Cool. Yeah, they do have. Yes, yep, that's their new space.
Curio and Zelienople.
They used to be Curio Cool, and if you find them at their website, I think it's or on Facebook and such, Curio Cool. Yeah. What do they call that? Picasso did those characters with the diamond patterns. I don't know. Apparently, I got a little inebriated, but yeah. Ching, tie your mother down.
Tie your mother down. Man,
Nope.
Pretty cool.
Nope. Freddie was black nose, and Brian May was white nose. Yeah.
Pretty cool video.
And then there was an interesting time when Freddie only had his thumbs black, and it was around the same era that David Bowie in the Genie video. If we want to watch that, I was shot by Mick Rock. Had his black thumbnails only. That's Brian Shore right there. Boop. We met. He was doing an art installation. That's his artwork. Hey, who's that? Yes, indeed.
Man, they got a pretty nice website.
Yeah, that's a new website. As of a month and a half ago, they had somebody come in and do it.
Man, they did a pretty good job. 659 Media.
There's Joshua Hogan right there in that big circle. Joshua Hogan is co-owner right there. That's a Joshua Hogan in the bottom left.
This
his
one,
Wayfarer. Yep, his Wayfarer series. Joshua Hogan is co-owner of Box Heart Gallery in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, who represents
and a really cool artist in his own right. I really like his stuff. He does his abstracts. They're really cool, man. I just love his color choices and the textures.
Yeah,
look at that. It's
these
not
interesting little flying vehicles.
It's fucking awesome.
He calls them Wayfarers. These little interesting kind of flying vehicle shapes.
Okay, all right. Or Earth shape. I mean, they almost look like world. I don't know
what they are,
but worlds or whatever. But it's cool looking.
It says circular wooden canvas or wooden canvas. Wooden.
Art's one of those things you gotta experience in real life, just like the Grand Canyon. Got to be there. You can't see it. It ain't gonna ever do it justice watching it on the biggest movie screen you could see. It's not going to be the same as being there in real life. And art's the same way. Isn't it right?
Truth. The Van Gogh experience is coming to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
and we have tickets for it. I'm not sure, but we do have tickets for it.
They're like 60 some bucks and a ticket.
We dropped like 200 to go. But it's a very immersive experience.
Yeah, I watched I got a little sneak peeky on YouTube, people shooting it. And again, it was like when you're there, I'm sure it's quite impressive, but I was like, yeah, I think it was like 60 or 80, but it was like more money than I thought would be worth it for me.
I was kind of surprised as well. There's also a Klimt
There's no
one,
original
which our
pieces
cousin.
there. There's no original pieces there.
No, it's all
it's all
and
immersive projections.
Yeah, installation art.
Yeah, which is dope, and you should totally be there as a as an artist. And I'm glad you're going to be there.
Again.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Klimt one as well that's just started up not long ago, and our one cousin shot video from it.
Really?
I guess it's in Italy. They're living in Italy now.
No, Barcelona.
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 Spain.
Madrid. Spain. España. Barcelona.
Yeah. Okay, that was weird. What was that all?
The theta. What do you mean? Maybe you're weird.
You're the weird one. Maybe you're just.
I'm plenty weird. Right? Don't you worry about that.
Don't you worry about that. It's going.
I got my weird on.
I'll tell you how weird I am.
I'll take you on. I bet you I could be a bigger baby than you can. I bet you I could sound like a better. I bet you I could sound more like a baby than you can. Go.
No, right? That's
Wait, that's Uni. Hold on.
That's yours. Yeah.
No, that was my baby. That's my
your turn. Baby Uni. My baby Uni. Oh.
Your
That's
girl.
fine.
Your turn. Do it, bro. I want to hear baby bro.
Gobble, gobble.
That's he nailed it.
All right. He wins.
And gobble.
There is one scene in Dungeons and Dragons Redubbed, which was originally, redubbed in the original Big Room back in the Dizzy of the 80s, 90s. And there's one scene where Uni the Unicorn is under stress.
Yelling. Something, yeah.
Right. But also, Fat Man Bob has a line. And initially I did both of the voices. So we had to have King Adhoc do Uni's voice during the
Because we
scene.
did not. This is well before any kind of multi-track technology. We were not.
Didn't exist.
Yeah,
Didn't
we couldn't
exist.
record
Right.
one
Yeah.
voice.
There was no multi-track, and it was one microphone, and we all did. And if you weren't doing a voice, you had to do a sound effect.
They were doing a
Yes.
So
sound
if there was
effect,
only
yeah.
one person speaking, because usually a dialogue was two characters, and usually it worked out. But in this case, the monk did both voices that were, and there was an overlap. So yes, I got to do Uni's voice, or Bri was doing a sound effect, and it just became a moment that we laughed about forever.
City on the Edge of Midnight.
City on the Edge of Midnight. Yep.
30 years later, we're still.
That's
You
such a
guys still laugh about my uni imitation.
it was like but your throat like swelled up when you did it. You're like
Yeah.
it was almost like painful. It was wonderful. You had to like you totally transformed like you do into Joe Rogan. You transformed into Unity. Like you're not just a method actor. You're like a morphing method actor.
Like a xenomorph. Yeah, you're like a
xenomorph from method
You're
actor.
like Odo. You're like Odo from Deep Space
You're
Nine.
like Odo. God, Deep
Who's
Space.
Odo?
Deep Space Nine is a.
Don't pretend like
Star
you
Trek.
don't know.
Yeah.
Don't pretend like you don't.
Or what's her name from Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country?
Uhura.
I don't know
Bowie's
that.
girl. What was Bowie's girl? Bowie's wife.
Iman?
Iman.
Iman?
Yeah.
Wait. Oh, in the movie.
In the movie Star Trek 6: The Undiscovered Country.
That's hot.
D needs to watch it now.
I do now.
Yeah,
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go watch it and touch. I'll be right back.
I would pull it up if we didn't. But now that Twitch changed its rules on us and will ban us for playing other people's materials that we don't own the copyright to, after 3 strikes they ban you. Like, what kind of new horrible rule is this?
I don't know.
And how do late night talk show hosts? I mean, I know if they have a guest on, they'll have it licensed to, because they're promoting it.
Dave talked about that before, though. But those late night talk shows, they have relationships with the big companies, the big publishing companies. So they've talked about how, even Colbert talked about how, when they're doing their daily monologue, there are times where they can't get the permission to run something, so they have to change up the reference. But I think that more often than not, with those big ones, they've got someone on speed dial, So Colbert talks to his assistant, who calls her contact in the Universal Studios, permissions department. Goes, hey, Colbert wants to use a clip from Empire Strikes Back, and then
they probably
sure.
Just like, and then they just log it, and then they either pay like some type of small exchange fee, like it's probably like an exchange, that would go on in some fashion, or they might just waive the fee, right?
You're muted,
on
Monk.
the situation.
You're muted.
Yeah, I don't know. I was never.
It's advertising for them, so
Yeah, 100%. I mean, there's that, and that. I mean, I think there will come a time in our dystopic future before it becomes a dystopia and it's still a utopia, where everybody's like, "This is awesome. We can show anything we want," and they just automatically debit our account.
You show whatever you want.
Right?
Yeah, you do it.
We are the world. Sorry. Wow, 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 woo! Cyndi Lauper, everybody.
Cindy
Cyndi Lauper.
Lauper. She's still going, and she's looking
Amazing.
still really good.
Well, she did. Her voice is ridiculous.
Well, she got on that. What you call it? She got on the.
Liposuction?
No, not the liposuction. The
Wasn't Botox or plastic surgery, because that just makes you look not,
liposol or something like that.
into it.
She's in a drug commercial now. She's in one of the
drug commercial. Okay.
Yeah,
I don't know.
really?
But she's been doing like Broadway and different stuff.
Yeah, for eczema or something, for like super dry skin.
Good.
Psoriasis. Those fucking drug commercials. Yeah, T's a long time sufferer from that.
I suffer not.
He suffers not. He rolls with it.
You suffer.
Dragon skin. Dragon scale.
Scales. Dragon scales. Yeah, like in Dragon. What was a Dragon? What was that called? What was the one movie? Dragon Lance?
Game of Thrones.
No, it was a movie in the 80s where they had to make a shield out of dragon scales.
Oh, cool.
That was Dragon Slayer.
Dragon Slayer was the name of the movie.
I think, right?
Yeah, I think you're right.
There was one with yeah, it was with right, there was a girl playing a little boy.
Yeah, and everybody knew she was.
Everyone knew it was a little girl right off the bat.
Right.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And it starred
nobody.
It starred it starred that dude that
not Makepeace.
An awesome actor. No. It was the guy who played American Psycho, right?
No.
That's well before him.
It
was before Empire and the Sun. Empire and the Sun.
Right.
It was what? Here's the star of the movie.
Okay.
Well, this is our second week in a row making a Ghostbusters 2 reference.
Wow.
Okay.
But it starred the guy who managed the museum.
Really? The curly haired, like
not Lithgow.
Yeah. No, that wasn't him.
Yeah, that was totally him.
Okay, we'll pull up a trailer. Pull up a trailer. It wasn't. Maybe it was.
I mean, I'm afraid to pull up anything until we figure out a little bit more about the legal aspects of what we can show.
They haven't kicked us off yet. And we get 3 strikes.
True.
Yeah, we do get 3 strikes. And there might be an element of like I don't know what Twitch
that reminds me of us getting kicked out of a hotel, by the way.
Yeah, I only did it
twice. They're gonna tell us 3 times. Yeah. Sure, I could ride my whatever the hell I was riding through the penthouse hallways. I was riding some kind of vehicle all through the hallways. Nah, they're gonna tell us 3 times not to do it.
They didn't tell you 3 times?
They already did. Yeah,
they told us twice.
Right, and I was like, ah.
And the 3rd time was like, no, this is your 3rd time. But I thought you meant 3rd times, and then we're kicked out. I thought I had one more time, and they're like, get out of here, dude.
You don't remember the first 5 times.
His name is Peter McNichol.
Christie's brother.
His name is Peter McNichol.
Less famous.
And let's see. Was that him? I don't know.
Where is like an episode of Where Are They Now references?
Same dude?
It's the same dude. In fact, Dragon Slayer was his first film credit.
Wow. Good
one
job,
that was going to put him on top.
1981.
And keep him on top.
And then Ghostbusters was what? 84, 85,
89.
Oh, because it was the second one. It was the second one.
He was the terrible one. Ghostbusters made the fatal flaw of defeating a god in the first one.
Right.
Fuck. How do you step it up from there? You don't.
I don't know.
Oh, and we're fighting an evil wizard in part 2. Big fucking deal. You beat a fucking god in part 1. Like if evil wizard from Carpathia. Who the fuck is that compared to a god?
The Carpathian Mountains. That's our boy Krampus.
That was our reference last week. That's how we referenced Ghostbusters 2 last week.
Oh, right.
Yes, we did.
We're on Ghostbusters 2 run here.
Now, the Paul Rudd Ghostbusters movie, it was supposed to be released.
Yeah.
Did it actually come out? No, I don't think it is. It was supposed to come out last summer.
Yeah.
Believe it or not. Because, and it's still on hold.
I think that they're set on, I think they want to make sure, Like I think they're committed to making sure that's a theater going experience.
It makes sense to me. And that's the one kid from Stranger Things in it as well.
Wait, what movie is this?
Ghostbusters something.
Yeah,
And they did a Femo Ghostbusters 2 years ago.
They did, and it was pretty funny.
I didn't see it.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Were there any
watch it. It's
references?
fun.
Did it actually tie in with the first one or
No.
the original one?
Nope.
No, it was like
Different
a reboot.
universe. Yeah.
It was like a whole reboot, right?
And it had the one awesome SNL actress.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
who name. I can't think of her name. It had McCarthy.
Mick
right?
something.
Faye.
It had Melissa
Tina
McCarthy, right? It had the. Didn't it have Melissa McCarthy, the heavier set girl?
Yes.
McCarthy.
McCarthy
As well.
and
Full
the blonde
figured, bro.
girl, the
Full
blonde
figured.
funny.
Full figured.
Yeah,
Let's
the-
be politically correct here.
The blonde that did
that what I said?
Giuliani and
Oh,
another political figure. She did somebody else during. Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
does
awesome.
Great characters. I don't.
Yeah, she's great.
What the heck is her name? Yeah, she's
Her
really-
episode of comedians in cars getting coffee is pretty excellent as well.
Pretty good. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I really like that show.
I haven't gotten into it yet.
It's I just love people being people, especially actors, character actors. When you see behind the scenes of them just being bored as hell with
Right.
Seinfeld, it's great. It's great.
Right. Yeah. I like I said, I've got it on my list. It's definitely there as a time killer at some point. I've still been killing time with background monk episodes. I'm still doing that.
There's a
What?
couple things you have on your background. You haven't watched
What?
You haven't watched that cartoon yet either, Bri, right?
The Invincibles now.
Yeah.
I haven't watched that. I want to watch Jupiter's Legacy. I haven't checked that out yet.
I haven't
That's
checked that
looking
out
pretty
either.
What's that?
Blood and Stone. I watched the first episode of. It's very interesting.
What is this?
I
What
don't
is
know.
this?
Okay, jump back. Go back to the other one.
What's
You were
Blood and
saying
Stone?
Jupiter's
It's a-
Legacy?
Jupiter's Legacy. Do that one first.
Jupiter's Legacy looks pretty good. It's a Netflix series, and it's I don't know if it's them delving into, starting to create their own superhero universe or what it is, but it looks very Watchmen style, like not necessarily
Yeah.
Watchmen movie, but more the miniseries and the original book.
Mainly
it's kinda
because
like-
it starts out like with about the old guard and then their children.
Right.
Like
And
that's
how
what the
maybe
season is
some of the
about.
shit that the superheroes had to do wasn't easy for them and that sort of thing. And
Or
It
maybe
looks- it
even
looks
noble,
or even but maybe not even
ethical.
ethical. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I think it's a 6 or 8 part series, and then there's a second part of it coming, I believe. But it looks
Oh, cool.
good. It looks good.
Right, yeah. And then Blood and Stone. I almost want you to pull up a trailer on it. I watched it while I was in Virginia, actually, the first episode, and it's kind of reminiscent of another world, like that. Legolas, the actor, that was in Pirates of the Caribbean and Legolas.
Nicholas.
Yes, with the
Orlando
fairy circus, Orlando Bloom, with that
Orlando Bloom.
something like fairy circus, like carnival kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it's excellent. Do watch that. Definitely watch that. It's
Really?
excellent.
It's a movie?
No, it's a series on Hulu, possibly.
Could be. Sounds good.
But it's like this. I hate to use this word, steampunk, but
Right.
it's like this
I
alternate.
love steampunk. Why would you hate to use that?
Because for my
One
own
of my
reasons,
books,
I
one of my
suppose.
stories was published in a steampunk anthology.
Yeah, it's like I'm not
Back
going
off
to
the
get into that. I'm gonna end up
Yeah,
offending
back on the
people.
steampunk, bro.
Right,
It's a genre. I mean, it's just a genre, but it
Make
maybe
sure it's
You don't want to
idea-
pigeonhole it, right? That's what it is.
Correct. Okay. So what I want to say is it's an alternate world where around the era of technology being birthed, it's not steam, but it's technology is around.
Gears and shit.
Correct. A lot of gears. And but also that there are all the fairy worlds are came into also these lands became explored and then exploited. So centaurs and fairy and winged ones and other different kind of fairy tale worlds are being explored and exploited, and it's wartime because of this as well.
Okay.
And there's a kind of Romeo and Juliet mentality about it as far as the story arc goes, but it's dark. It's really dark. It's really good. And magic and bringing together golems to do murderous. And Orlando Bloom's character is a human soldier, but a half-breed, it turns out. And he's researching these golem
Turns out
deaths, killings. So it's there's like a detective arc as well to the story. It's really excellent. I highly recommend it. So this Blood and Stone kind of seems like that world as well, where it's a gear world, fairy world.
Man, they're really mashing up a lot of shit. A lot of stuff in that one, huh?
Yes, and yes, and I was watching it, and Jafar,
this is everything I love.
But I was studying the design aspect of it because working in film, but and loving fashion mag and just how everything is designed.
You mean the set design aspect of film?
Yes, set design aspect of film, and you worked in film, and you worked in the art department, and I worked in the art department.
You tend to pay attention to what you study, and
so seeing how it plays on pop culture, because Ad Hoc taught me this when before I worked in film, Ad Hoc worked in films, and one thing that always stuck with me, and then working around set decoration, that he's like, man, everything that camera sees that is on the screen, he's like, nothing is random. Every object on the set, everything that is in that camera's eye screen has been selected and placed and scrutinized for it to be exactly where it is for
Except
some
Starbucks coffee cups.
Except yes, and a tennis shoe.
I mean, that's not. I can't say that's a universal truth. Depends on the film. Depends on the director. Depends on the budget.
Nevertheless,
right? How much?
I would say 90%. I would say 90% outside of human error. 90%.
But you've always worked on big budget stuff, right? So
yeah.
So they have the budget. Here's what I just. Just to that point, go ahead and continue, and then I'll come back to what I was going to say.
So I was watching the one that we were talking about with Orlando Bloom, and then this one that is a mimic of a genre of this kind of war-torn fairy world, where there's epaulets and the fashion design of it was it struck me. I was like, man, that would be an amazing look for a musical outreach, designing music that is Americana mixed with drum and bass, which has a very warlike kind of thing, and or glitch rock, and stylizing the band and the set based off of this new movement, I think would be extremely successful.
Futuristic.
So when Jafar walked in after being out there, and then showering off the beach, and she's like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, "Yeah, I just been, this happened. I was thinking about this. She was like, well, yeah. I was just really just like, anyway, there's something happening. And, as Depeche Mode put it, fast fashion, which Depeche Mode means fast fashion.
Fast fashion. So what I was going to say is, I've worked on really low budget stuff to cut my teeth. And then I've worked on some high budget A-list stuff. And, what I realized from being on both sides of the curtain is that, everything is an illusion, and, Tinseltown, Hollywood. I really came to love that scene of, a Wizard of Oz when she finally, gets past and you see there's a guy pulling all these levers.
Pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
Yeah. I mean, that was like,
yeah,
man, that was such a brilliant moment in cinematic history to say, this is larger in life, but man, behind the scenes, it's just a bunch of people running around like crazy trying to make shit happen and make sure. I mean, behind the scenes,
nothing glamorous behind the scene.
Yeah, it's a great thing.
It's a political reference as well as any media.
True.
Yeah.
But I mean, directly relevant to that form of art that I studied and worked my way to get to look behind the curtain. I mean, I put in years and countless hours to be able to look behind that curtain, but on smaller budget indie stuff, of course, I mean, you might shoot on location and you're not picking all the set pieces. But what I wanted to also say is that the lower budget stuff, when you're doing multiple hats or you're doing a lot of different, you get paid less to do more work. And the higher budget stuff, you get paid more to do basically one thing. When you have,
if you step out of that one thing, they get pissed.
Yeah. So it goes unionized, but the fringe benefit of doing that one thing is that everything gets done perfecto, because you only got one thing to focus on. You're not focused on 3 things or 5 things or 15 things. You got one thing. And there's a lot of times you might be bored. You have more downtime, but when it's time to do your thing, don't fuck it up. Like, that's what you're getting paid for. Yeah. So everything does get picked perfectly. If you're a set designer, you have the budget to really think about and place all those objects. And of course, one of the things that made Hollywood was that they had they were able to kind of tie together this network of a lot of odd collectors. So they had numbers of people who collected cars, and if they needed period pieces, they don't keep all these on the back lot of Paramount, but somebody's job it was somebody's job. Yeah, indeed. To have those numbers.
Transportation and
you're doing a 50 set and call up everybody. I need 12 cars of this between the ages of 1955 and 1957, and they got to have them, and so everybody has a Rolodex, and that's California for you. That's Southern California. And that's why
every film industry,
everything goes into different location-based shooting. And cities step it up. And we come to find that a lot of cities have these different resources, but you still got to kind of have people to organize them. And North Carolina was one of the first cities to be able to do it. And that's where I was in the early 90s.
Sure.
I mean, mid 90s. I'm sorry, mid 90s. But there you go. There's a shot exactly of that, man, shipping them in. So Pennsylvania has plenty of old cars too, but you got to be able to get them there. You got to coordinate it, and there's a budget to it. And if you don't have the budget, it ain't going to be in the movie, it ain't going to make it there. But there's Haddads. Yeah. That's a big outfit. Actually, they work all
over the fucking country.
Yeah.
This is for Ma Rainey's Black Bottom.
All right. Nice.
Which is the last film that
I heard it was
Chadwick,
really
it is. It's excellent. Chadwick Boseman worked on, and I got to meet him.
Man, dude,
you did or you didn't?
Yeah, and I got to meet him.
That's
Wakanda.
awesome.
What?
Wakanda forever.
Yeah,
Wakanda,
Wakanda forever.
right? It was this.
Yep.
And he died. He's dead now, right?
Yeah, he
He's
died.
dead.
He was
How'd he
very
die?
frail. Cancer. He was very
Cancer
frail
again.
on that
Yeah.
film. But I had the I didn't really like sit down and meet him, but I got to walk with him and a couple of the actors toward off the set to the next section of the studios, and I opened the door for him. But we walked side by side, and then I opened the door for him, and and we walked into the next section together.
Nice.
But I did have the opportunity to watch him get trained on how to mimic and play the trumpet by Branford Marsalis.
Wow.
Okay.
Man.
Yeah. Branford Marsalis was in charge of working with many Pittsburgh musicians. Because Pittsburgh is huge. So the history of jazz in Pittsburgh is enormous.
Why they would have to hire Branford Marsalis, to teach somebody how to mimic how to play it. I mean, come on, you got a lot of budget money. It's like,
thank
we can get
goodness,
pretty much any trumpet teacher from high school level up, but we're gonna
might as well get Branford Marsalis. Just to have it in
Branford's
the credits.
my boy. Let's bring him in.
Yeah.
I know we got to drop an extra 100 six figures for this, but we got the budget for it. Like, it's important. It's going to make a difference in the end product. Trust me.
That was one of the best.
Who gets to make that decision?
That was one of the best.
You're freaking connected when you get to make those decisions,
Yeah.
But that industry is very, very nepotistic, and that's the other thing I learned in my pathway of film work is that every industry is nepotistic. So you can't be mad about the film industry being nepotistic, because it's like everything. Like, if you're in accounting, you might get a job in an accounting firm because your dad knows somebody or it's your neighbor or whatever. Like, that's just the way the world works. Like, you do have a leg up if you know somebody who knows somebody, because everything is in every relationship, whether it's work or personal, comes down to trust and trusting that person, even, regardless of what it is. And if somebody could put in a good word for you and say, this guy's a good dude, he's a good work, like, that goes further than just being talent, just having talent. Like, you have to have integrity in
every industry you work in, like you're saying, you want to work with people that you feel comfortable with, that has a skill set, and it goes beyond a resume. Like, and trust. And it's like, man, if you've done it before, I don't have to tell you how to do shit. You've already done it, and thank goodness.
I like you. Like, I like, we have experience together. We've had an experience together. I know you can get it done, and I trust you because you did it before.
Yep.
And so every industry is nepotistic, but of course that industry is very nepotistic. And my thing with going to California was, there were people there that were 4 generations already of deep in the nepotism. And I'm coming in, and it's like, it's hard to, regardless of your skill level, you might get ripped off or something. And when I experienced that whenever I went into producing, because, I wanted to not, I didn't want to start at the bottom again. I was producing stuff. So I produced a pilot and pitched it to MTV. It's called The Pickup Artist. They turned it down. And then, like, 8 months later, I don't remember how long it was. It might've been as much as a year later, but they had a show called The Pickup Artist, and it wasn't my show. And like, the thing is, it was like, okay, I know that ideas are a dime a dozen, and it's quite possible people, it might have been a coincidence, but and the show was quite different. Had different elements than mine, but there were some elements that were similar to it, and it was just like the idea that whoever I pitched the idea to, none of them will sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement. They refuse to do that. I've experienced that many times in Los Angeles. They're like, we won't sign an NDA, but if you want to tell us it, you're welcome to. And so you have no position to tell them it. And then you have no recourse. You have no legal standing at all. And it's just like, I could pay you. I could like turn you into a 6-figure salary person as a producer, so maybe a 7-figure salary person. But I've been working with this guy, you know, it's like my best friend's a producer and he can do this job. So I'm going to give him the job because it's money. And I own, you know, he put me on a job. So I'm going to put him on a job. And that's just what it is. And that's why I was like, man, I'm just going to go back to producing music because I love producing music. And, you know, you can influence people with music. I came back here and, you know, and then we started Voma, and I haven't really produced a lot of music, but it was still a very good experience to learn all that and experience that. Now, what is this set you're showing us here from?
That's gonna be Ma Rainey.
Illegally.
Ma Rainey. Yeah, this is me filming what we created. This is where the majority of the film takes place.
Oh, okay.
It's in a Chicago studio. Yeah,
You
when you see the film
made to look like Chicago studio.
Correct. Yeah.
Shot in Pittsburgh.
Now there's correct.
So you shoot the exteriors in Chicago, and then when you walk through the door, it cuts to a cheaper location to film to.
That's true. But this is 1920s Chicago. So everything was recreated. Wow, a lot happened that month. I want to show some.
You had to
I'm
bust
going to
out
share
lead
some
paints,
things.
huh?
Yeah, they were delicious.
Finger looking good, especially
Mm.
that green.
A dark green. Anyway, I was going to share more, but wow, there's a lot going on in the month. Anyway,
Hey, tell us about let's move on. How about Bride's sister's wedding, since I didn't get to see it? Bride, you got to see some video. How'd you enjoy it? Were you up? You make it up? Were you awake at that time?
Yeah, I got up for it and logged in. Jafar set me up, and I got to see the whole, ceremony and the and all that. People being
Did you
real
cry?
hot about
Did you
this,
cry a little?
obviously.
My little sister.
My little sister get married.
No.
No, but it was wonderful, and most importantly,
Glad it went off without a hitch. That's the main thing.
Deed.
You got a good time.
Dee.
Yeah,
He did.
Didi was there.
He
Yeah.
cried. Yeah, and he cried.
Nice.
Hmm.
Gotta make that guy cry more.
Yeah, I try when I can. Haven't seen him in years. He looks exactly the same. It's kind of bizarre.
He's aging ridiculously well.
Yeah. It's. I did not expect that, to be honest with you.
No, I mean,
I
the guy's,
did because of the stories. He's a Vietnam vet. The guy got to be what?
he's 73 now.
Wait, did you just say he got choked up and cried?
Yeah.
What?
He didn't blubber, but you know what I mean? Because
Anything
I've seen
like
him blubber.
any leaky eye, even watery eyes from that guy.
Yeah.
What?
He might have been
Really?
drunk.
But
though.
well, yes. But nevertheless,
Still.
that's
You think all the feelings, the ability to feel feelings would have been beaten out of him,
by the military in
back
Vietnam.
in the 70s. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
60s, whatever. 60s,
70s.
70s, late 60s, right? Is that when
Mhm.
Vietnam was?
Yeah, 70s, 60s into the 70s. But you have to realize that this is actually the first and only wedding that he's had for his children.
Right.
And
Yeah.
in that same vein,
But he has grandkids.
that's not the point. The point is that his wife isn't there to experience it as well.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what it was.
Okay.
And
so-
and he
that's
does
fair.
come from a generation where pomp and circumstance matters. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like a wedding,
True.
So
Good point.
that
Good point.
that all connected,
Yeah. Man, you never know what other people are feeling and thinking and going through, and everything's perspective. It's
Yeah,
fucking. It's
exactly.
What makes
It's all connected.
all
to
our
it,
different eyes of the
earlier
world.
data. Yeah,
Cool. When
Very
you
cool.
see it, how things can affect other people. That you're like, man, I didn't see that
Huh.
coming. I wouldn't
Yeah.
have cried, but glad he
Yeah.
did.
yeah.
Maybe
It
if I
was
was
pretty
him,
great.
and it was like you said, it's like all these different things. I mean, he changed your diapers. You know what I'm saying? So it's a
Yep.
different.
Not only that, he remembered his own wedding in that same moment.
Yeah.
You know,
Same exact
and
location, too.
no, but yeah, it's all of these. Yeah, it was very interesting, and it was nice to have conversations with him. It was nice to have conversations with Lily and Dre,
Right.
and Delaney is awesome, and Lee turned out to be awesome, and Dre, wow, what the fuck?
I know. Lee is unbelievable.
He
No,
is
like,
respectful and
I would have
in
lost
contact.
if 14 years ago someone would have said, "Hey, Bright, make a bet," I would have lost
Yeah.
money on.
Yep.
No
Me too.
way. Yeah, no
Yeah.
Me
way.
too. Me
Would
too.
have totally lost money.
Oh yeah, you would have
Yeah.
lost money on that one. We all three of us would have lost money on that one.
Yeah.
Well, one thing he said to Jafar was that one of the things that he does is, as far as knowing what to do and what not to do, is to watch Dre.
And do the opposite.
Correct.
Yeah.
Wow. But wait
Learn
a
from his
second.
mistakes right now.
But his mother wasn't there.
No.
No, she was not.
So how did that go
He came
down?
down with Dee Dee, I'm assuming.
Yeah, he came down with Dee Dee
Okay,
and Dre.
okay.
Yeah.
And
They
how
drove down
is
together.
Kay handling this, bro?
The middle sister.
The middle sister, yeah.
Not sure, but
Yeah.
what Lara was saying is, look, Dee, you know, I'm not putting the invite to her because I give an invite to her for Thanksgiving, Christmas, all the holidays throughout these years. She's never showed up. And then when we're going down to a vacation-esque scenario, she's kind of showed her colors as far as what she will.
I'll come down, but you got to pay for it, right?
Oh yeah.
Actually, it was like me and my friend, and me and when it first came up like a while ago.
+1.
Yeah, I have a +1, you know, thinking she was in a relationship, but in all actuality, she wanted to bring her drinking buddy, female drinking buddy from the bar from work. You know, she was like, "Look, now, just now," and
I'll get her to pay for the drive down there, and the hotel. I need somebody who I could get to pay for this.
Well, no, actually, Lar and
Yeah, they were staying at the house. Yeah.
Yeah, there were two beach houses that they rented, but nevertheless, it was what she said to Dee Dee was well, if she gets out of hand and starts trouble, you have to take care of her and leave with her. You have to take care of her and you have to drive her out of here. And Dee was like, yeah, no, she's not coming, because he knew that was a huge possibility.
He's like, I can't put my money on that either. No.
Nope, nobody can. She's a wild card.
How fucked up though to live your whole life and not be able to go to your own siblings' fucking wedding.
I don't know if she even noticed, to be honest with you.
I mean,
if there was nothing in it for her, if there was nothing in it for her,
not to want to invite your sibling. I mean, that's kind of sad, right?
Yeah.
Whatever. Like you see it from Lauren's perspective, it's sad. That's my point.
Lars, yeah.
Not
the last two gatherings that Laura had that Kay did attend, the middle sister did it. Can't say Kay because that
right
confuses people to hand the K rock.
Correct.
With the middle one.
The middle one.
Attended was a birthday party for Lainey that ended up with the middle one virtually attacking the girl. I mean, just like freaking out on her and screaming at her and calling her a bitch and just.
And it was her birthday.
It was her birthday. Calling her
teenage birthday.
A selfish bitch. It's all about her. Why is it always all about you, you selfish bitch? Like it's super ugly. Just like, huh? Yeah.
Like you can't. That's cartoon crazy. It's not sitcom crazy.
No,
That's
it's not
cartoon
that-
crazy.
It's sitcom crazy the same way that Rodney Dangerfield sitcom from Natural Born Killers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right,
Exactly.
all right.
Oi.
All right. Finish this up. Let's get to a good point, and then I
right.
gotta share the. You just got to see this segment with you guys.
Oh, please do. Any
Yeah.
way you look at it, it was a wonderful event. It was great to see Lar and Jay's. I'm gonna call him Jay.
Yeah.
Her husband now, to get to know them behind the scenes, which was what I learned was I was there on their first big date and then at their wedding day. I haven't seen him since.
In between.
Yeah. Their first big date, they had known each other for a while because of her occupation.
Wait, was it a Black Hat Moan show?
It was in Pittsburgh, Prince Purple Rain movie on the Rangos Theater at the Pittsburgh Science Center, which is the largest screen in Pittsburgh. Purple Rain was being played. Yeah. And then she was like, I'm going. And it was like a year after his passing. And he said he'd go with her. And that was their first big date. And I was there for it.
Oh wow! And he did show up at a Black Hat Moan show.
A couple times, yeah.
At Voma with her, but he doesn't say more than 2 words. He's very reserved, keeps to himself.
So it was very nice to be around him outside in his comfort zone, I should say.
Right.
And yeah, and get
with his peeps around instead of being
well,
the odd
actually,
man out.
even when his peeps are around, he's reserved. When he's solo, that's when. Not to make a Star Wars reference, but when he's solo, which he's a huge Star Wars fan, and when my kids first met him, you know, he was wearing a T-shirt of Han Solo that said "I know" above it.
Right.
Who shot first? I know.
No.
Not who I had first. It's I love you. Because Lorelai has
that's what the reference is.
Lorelai has a shirt.
That you told me about this. Yeah.
Lorelai has a shirt of Leia with a picture of Leia on it saying I love you.
That's
and he has the matching shirt of Solo saying I know.
I know.
Right. And that's not awesome, but okay.
That's just too cool.
No, it is awesome because if you know,
in their own way,
you got to see the characters in the story to see that. Again, that's the way Han expresses himself, and
there's the relevance.
Yeah, man. You know, there's a song. You know, I guess talking about relevance and timeliness. I heard a song today by Billy Joel. Billy Joel's been popping up, and I've been listening.
Yes, he has
for the past couple weeks, and you know, there's a great line that he has. It basically says it's like, I might not tell you all the time, but you know, and it's that's what it is. So sometimes love's outwit, right? Especially amongst the tough guys.
The tough guys, right?
Hater, tough gay.
Hater, tough gay.
Are you guys ready to get broken?
I am.
Who wants to get broken? I was gonna pull up that Prince video at the Rangos, but I don't need to. I'd rather get broken.
All right, break us.
It's time for you to get broke.
Oh, am I gonna piss myself when you do this? I gotta
get broke. Oh man, see now you never know because there's so many ways to break a human.
This is something.
This is one of them.
You need to go to the bathroom and come back.
It sounds like I should. I think I should. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna do that.
All right, Bri, entertain the people. We're all gonna go to the bathroom.
Everyone's going to the bathroom.
Dance and sing, damn it.
Let me tell you a story. A long time ago, there was a couple of people, they was wandering through the woods, and they was thinking, what happened to that dwarf? No one knew what happened to the dwarf. It turned out that the dwarf was actually more of a leprechaun played by, what's his name? Not Kenny Baker, but the other one. The one that has the Willow guy, Warwick Davis. That's it. And he was playing a dwarf that was actually a leprechaun. And the leprechaun had some unnatural ideas about what was to be done with the local fauna, and the elf who was, hey, there you go. And
Were you just totally making up a random story?
it was yeah, a little bit. Let's make up a little story about it.
I'm kind of
Okay, I
guessing
can't
it
wait
was
to get back
horribly
to
embarrassing stories about us. So that's my guess.
No, it was a story about it. It was a story about a dwarf.
Yeah, like I said, it's
You wanna
on my
finish it?
doc.
Do you want to finish the story?
Go ahead.
I'll finish it the next time that I get left alone. I'll pick it up from there.
Okay, you guys all have to watch until the next time that Bri. If you
Have to
want
watch
see
it
the
part
Yeah,
two. That's
story.
part one.
That is part one. And if you want to request BB Rumble to be left alone,
And
you
then
could do
I
so.
gotta make sure. Yeah, I gotta make sure that I got something to drink when I'm alone.
So if
It's
you go to GoFundMe, which is also known as Go Drunk Me, for the big room, you can actually specifically tell BB what to be drinking as he tells you about his story. That is what he is drinking. You could also request King Ad Hoc to be drinking something specific that you demand. Do a shot of this at this hour. You could also do that for the monk.
Oh my
But
goodness.
I kind of hope it's not a brown liquor because I don't do such things. And you don't want to see that.
Brownikas.
You don't want to
Alright,
see
guys.
me on whiskey. Or
All
do
right,
you?
Here's the thing. So we're gonna go into a segment now. This is the thing. We always
Mhm.
in the big room for decades.
Decades.
We had a segment that we would do for each other that was
Yes.
called "You Just Got to See This." And you know, before the computer,
I didn't do that.
Who did?
actually,
Taste it. Taste it.
Taste it.
Please.
before the, you know, this is
You
before
just got to
computer
see
where you
this.
can just do. Yeah, you just got to see this.
No, you had to stumble across such crazy activity and press the record button on your VCR to
Right.
whatever was coming through your cable or non-cable
What
local
inspired it?
television.
The original inspiration of the "You Just Got to See This" was watching a documentary something about this crazy stuntman guy.
Oh,
Who-
dear God, yes.
His primary stunt was to get loaded up in a flame-resistant suit
Yeah.
and then
Dragged behind something
dragged behind a car, and then
and then
slide
released
Oh
Release.
yeah,
through
Yes!
flaming bales of
Yeah, I
hay.
remember this. I totally forgot about
That was
And
the gig.
people-
That was his gig.
And there was like a
I remember
whole
the episode. I remember the-
hour-long episode of whatever it was, where people were just raving about this guy and how he would just push it to the limit. That's what
Push
he
it
did.
to the limit.
And it's literally
Every
all that
time.
he did. He did nothing except hold on to He held on to a bar on a car.
Vehicle.
And
Some type of vehicle.
It got drugged
of
on the
vehicle.
ground while
On the ground. No, not on fire. He wouldn't be on fire. He would then let go and slide into a fire.
Slide through some type of fire. Bales
like a
of
hay bale fire. And he was always trying.
And then he took it to the limit.
He was always
which
trying to go
was
further. He was always trying to
Attaching
slide
himself to an
farther.
airplane
And then he attached himself to an airplane
instead of a
And-
vehicle on the ground.
and
the harness broke.
several times landed and slid, but he wasn't happy. And then he mounted a camera on the wing of the plane with a microphone.
With the microphone.
And as they take off, and shortly after takeoff, the link holding him to the plane
Yeah.
breaks, and he's
Yeah.
holding on to the axle of this plane. But the
And
suit weighs like they show the
It's-
whole
and
thing,
he's going,
They
oh boy.
show the whole
Oh, God.
thing.
and
And his words, his last
his words, his the suit weighs like 220 pounds.
Because it has
Because it's
steel
just
plate
insulated.
on the bottom of it.
It's got like
Insulated.
metal.
Well,
And
steel
it's-
plate on the bottom so he can
Right.
slide, and insulated with all kind of
And as the plane
asbestos.
takes off,
asbestos. That's the word I was
You-
looking for. Yeah.
as the plane takes off, you hear him going, "All right, okay, I'm ready. All right, take her up. Take her up. All right, yeah." It takes off. Yeah, it's great. It's great. It's good. Okay.
Oh,
All right, and then in mid exclamation, the harness breaks and he holds on, and so you all you hear is, "Oh yeah, no, whoa, Jimmy." It's
It was.
he
It wasn't Jimmy. It was
realizes-
something like Jimmy. It might
It's
as
not
well
like
be
Jimmy, and you can literally see
Oh, it's terrible.
the axle of the plane beginning to bend. He's holding on to it so hard because he knows I'm a few hundred feet up now with a 220-pound suit, and I have that's
The end.
it. And he's starting.
Man, and with the wind pressure, I mean, the strength
And
you
then-
I
have.
can't imagine, dude. He held on much longer than
He
I,
held on
I-
much longer than I thought humanly possible, and then the worst.
the only
The
reason
worst
it's funny
part-
is because when we watched it, we didn't expect to
It
see such
wasn't clear.
faces of death.
We didn't expect him to fall and die.
No.
But then the worst / best, I don't know, part is that as he's hanging on,
Hey, Jimmy. Hey.
he tries to whistle. He tries desperately to whistle. Like it's gonna do something. Like it's gonna cut through all the other shit. It's gonna change. It's gonna change the amount of time it takes for this plane to turn around. And he tries to whistle. And he's like, Jimmy.
With
It's
wind,
horrible.
how
Horrible.
do you abide with
Oh, it's
You can't
horrible. It's
whistle
horrible.
when wind's coming at you, but that was his short. What's the
horrible.
signal if
I
anything
did
goes
know.
wrong?
Yeah.
I'll whistle at you.
Yeah.
What's the safe word?
Whistle.
Oh, I
And
can't
then he
whistle whenever there's
falls.
100 miles an hour wind going in my opposite.
I had
direction.
deja vu, by the way, while you were telling that by BB.
It's kind of,
That's
and
a good sign.
plus the thing that makes it funny for us is growing up. There's Abbott Costello references,
Right, and that's
Oh,
it.
yeah.
That's the joke.
and it happened to him in real life.
Yeah,
Hanging on that Bible.
Frankenstein, right there.
Brian
And
has
then-
to
and
be-
then-
I
And
think
then
Brian's
what
working on
has
it.
to be, one of the most. I mean, it was iconic shots from a camera.
Yeah.
As they continue filming after he's plunged to his death,
They
The-
hold it on.
they turn, and you see in the camera people running towards where he has fallen to his
The
death.
landing.
Hold on one second, I gotta wipe my eye because I'm laughing so hard.
Shouldn't say laughing. Don't say laughing. I'm emotional so hard.
I'm so emotional. I'm so
I have no idea what the name of that show was at all. We can't bring it up, obviously. That was it, pretty momentous moment for the big room, and all of us just staring like that just, and then the credits start coming. It's like, holy shit!
yeah, and it just
Yeah,
they
it's
ended
shot
the show
like that.
like that. Like you watch us for an hour, and then all of a sudden, that was
Oh,
the
and this
end
is
of,
like at 3:30 in the morning.
it was
kind
a
of deal.
weird anticlimactic kind of ending that was just, and then like they maybe had some sad music playing during the credits, and we are like,
Oh,
that's the end, and did that just really happen?
weird.
Is this
It's bizarre.
it was a yeah, it was.
I would. You don't.
So that was the
yeah,
beginning
it
of the
was
you just got to see the series, Bri?
Oh God, yeah, you're right.
That
Yeah.
was like one of the catalyst moments of
Now,
us getting together and saying, dude,
Was
this
that-
is messed
you
up.
just watched
gotta
us.
see this."
You just watched us trying to describe it, and it does no justice to it.
No.
Holy
Because
shit.
this is a man's life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But
No
at the same
justice
time, it's
to that
not
life.
graphically.
You just got to see this.
There's no
Now.
graphic horror to it. I remember
No
when
blood
our boy
explosions, no
Franny
skull
O,
crushing.
whenever
work.
he tried to bring
I'll
together
manage.
something,
Holy shit.
and he brought us
BB?
Faces of Death, and we were like,
Yeah,
dude,
fuck that.
I don't
Like,
want to.
no.
No, it's not the
Too-
same.
too
Like
far.
that was funny because
far.
of all these other circumstances. But Faces of Death is just like, no, I don't want to.
Not funny.
It's not funny. It's
Not
really
funny.
and disturbing.
Oh, dear God, BB. Oh,
No,
you
you
just
didn't.
got to see this. Stuntman
Oh
fails.
my god!
Falls
you
to his
found
death after safety harness.
Jimmy Bullet Bailey.
Bullet Bailey.
Jimmy
Because he
Bullet
was always
Bailey.
projected.
We got time for this.
Jim
This
Bullet
is-
Are you
Bailey.
ready?
Jim Bullet
You're talking
Bailey.
about
Wow,
payoff
you just
and
got to
delivery.
see
You're
this.
getting the delivery here on the big
Decades.
room.
Decades.
Here it is.
Decades.
You're watching us on video.
What year is this? What year is
You're
this,
not-
BB?
I don't know.
If you're only listening to
It's
this
in
in
the
audio,
credits
hopefully
below.
you get to tune in and watch this in the rerun, and it's not.
Wow.
It was posted in 215.
There's no information.
April 1st. April 1st.
Oh, dear
1981.
God. Come on. 81. Wow. That's before Jafar was born.
I was 9. You were 8.
No. Oh, yeah. It would have been a few months before, right?
BB was
A
barely
few months before Jafar.
I was 9, about to turn 10. Here it is, though.
Wow.
Here it is.
Talk to me, Jim. Take it out.
Craig it up.
Okay, here we go.
And this was a take you didn't have to do.
Nope. No one was even there. It was a test run.
Take it out. You got a catch one there, buddy. Up, take it up. Come on, lift up. Up we go. Oh, lift it up. Oh, we got busted. Oh, we got busted busted, ball. Oh, I can feel that.
Oh.
Beautiful. Go back, take it out, go back. You doing all right down there? Whoa! Coming!
Doing all right down there? Where'd the whistle happen?
Jim Bullet Bailey
It was
was
right
an
when he fell-
Australian stuntman that
right
would
when he
attach
fell,
himself
right?
to fast-moving vehicles,
I
which
mean-
would then drag or launch Bailey, sometimes through flaming hay bales. The stuntman was known to wear a titanium-plated suit that protected him from harm. On April 1st, 1981, Bailey was in Hawaii, attempting a stunt that called for him to hang from the bottom of a small airplane. The stunt turned tragic when the belt that attached Bailey to the plane broke.
It was
Bailey
right there
was
where he
left
whistled,
hanging
right
from
when
a
it-
metal bar that was being
You
used
didn't
as
hear
a
it when
hand
it-
grip. Seconds after the belt broke, Bailey lost his grip on the bar and fell 500 feet to his death.
There it is.
Did you know that the average
Oh, it
adult
didn't
has
go
5
on
to 20 pounds of
to the circling around.
No, I didn't show the circle.
I didn't hear the whistle. I'm really glad to watch that again because
Yeah.
my memory is
First
very
of all, my
distorted on
memory holds on a lot longer than it did right there.
Yeah, I had more faith in him, I suppose.
Yeah.
Maybe because time slowed down. Like, what
It's happening.
are we watching now? That's
So there you
horrible.
go.
Wow.
Bullet Bailey.
Well,
Holy shit. Bullet Bailey. To Bullet Bailey, everybody.
The Bullet Bailey, everyone.
To Bullet Bailey.
to Bullet Bailey. And
Wow.
to you just got to see this.
Mm.
Hold on. I'm out
The
of drink.
birth.
I'm going to go get a drink for Bullet Bailey. And then we're going to go in a new segment that's going to scar you for life.
Oh, great.
Probably scar you for life.
Like I need
Oh,
more
no.
scars.
Right.
I can't even ski my scar anymore. Remember the worm? By the way,
Yeah.
the worm scar. Can't
Yeah.
even see it on camera right now. Can barely
Like
see
that,
it.
dude. Let me see that. Is it still? Is it even that? Yeah, it's still there. Tell the
If I-
story how you got that.
Sure. So a block away from the big room, I suppose I was between the ages of 7 and 9, I guess. There was a street fair festival. This is before the years of the ethnic festival in Cambridge City of Johnstown, Pennsylvania, USA. Pennsylvania. Itty bitty bitty bop. Burp. So it was at St. Rochus, and they had somehow strung across the street a disco ball. Because this is what, 1981,
Right. Apparently.
or 80. Yeah, around that era. And we were all, the Laszlo children and the Mundok children, were following the disco ball dots, because that's what you did when the disco ball was going. There's a circular going, and it's a street fair, and there's music playing, a band. I don't know if it was a live band or music. I can't recall. Probably a live band at that era. And one of whatever wires were holding all of the equipment up or lights up, like cords, was strung around a vertical pole in front of St. Rochus, with like heavy gauge wire, but like, aluminum wire. So it was kind of like a nail sticking out. And as I went around, it just opened me right up. Right there. As you could kind of see if I stretch it.
Yeah, you can see it.
All right, good. But when I was a child, after that happened, I have very vivid memories being carried over my one aunt's shoulder, past the big room house on Chestnut. That's like one of my like snapshot moments. It was Marion or Patty. Because I remember Janet being there.
Yeah, I think it was Marion. What's happening about that?
Yeah, I was wondering if she has memories about it.
Man, that scar, it was like this long. It was like 4 inches long.
My arm was much tinier than now. You know what I mean? And
but it just went all the way through the flesh, like down in the muscle.
It's 3.5 inches now, 4 inches.
Did you get stitches, or what did they do? Why did
No, I didn't get stitches. And so that's why
this big puffy scar that looked like a worm.
A worm. The worm.
Worm
That's how I became the worm.
That's where that came from.
The worm from hell, she said.
Yeah. And that was, because you had this scar then that was
essentially my entire arm.
A worm, basically.
Uh-huh.
And it just looked like you had a worm living on your arm.
I did. It was like Labyrinth, that little worm that talks and tries to tell them not to go that way.
And it was because you didn't get stitches. If you would have got stitches, I think it wouldn't have puffed up that way. But they were
Possibly.
just like, just put a couple Band-Aids on there.
What is it, $50?
Be okay there.
We don't have $50.
We got $50.
But I do remember wearing like a weird band sleeve around it. Like this mesh thing for a long time.
With some Vaseline on there. It's before Neosporin.
Yeah.
Some Vaseline on there and put an ace bandage around it. He'll be good.
Put some Vaseline and mayonnaise on there and wrap
Mayonnaise.
Wrap it up real good. He'll be good. Don't worry about him there.
He'll be fine.
Donnie.
He got another arm anyway. And is he right-handed?
Right.
Oh, great. He's fine.
That ain't even his main working arm there, Donnie. Don't worry about him.
Yeah, he'll still be able to work in the mill.
Right.
Shovel coal.
It didn't damage any of the vertebrae or the muscles, did it? Nice,
Vertebrae. None of the arm vertebrae, did it? No? All right.
Arm. None of that arm vertebrae. Think of the dang.
Yeah.
Diggity ding dang
Yes,
do.
indeed. Yeah, I should ask. Yeah, I think it was Marion. But yeah, I should ask.
And that's only by the way, just for people who didn't grow up in J-Town, that's only a slight exaggeration of actual people from there. The arm vertebrae and the coal mining thing. That's only a slight exaggeration.
Yeah, that's what your worth was, really.
Yeah.
At that point. That
Man, I mean,
decade.
Yeah, I mean, I sometimes like I feel like we grew up in, I always say, we're working class through and through. Nobody can take that away from us or deny it from us.
Again, dang.
But
Bring back.
We definitely broke that fucking mold.
Basically, like you don't realize how kind of poor you are when you don't have a lot of money, because we had a lot of shit. We had bikes, we had TV, we had VCRs,
Nintendo.
but we couldn't afford like iRocks and like
that was Hershey, weird ass motherfuckers in Hershey, Pennsylvania.
When you go into high school and like people were driving in because their dads are like millionaires and they're like, or like that.
And they're cliche douchebags too.
Bought that car that he wrecked.
Yeah, the
Fiat.
Firebird. Yeah,
It's Fiat.
What was it called?
It's Fiat. It wasn't a Firebird. It was Fiat.
Was it
wasn't
Fiat?
a Firebird. It was something like
It's Fiat.
Which is not a super cool sounding name by today's standards, but back then it was cool. All right, guys.
Sounds
all right.
Italian.
Here's the deal. Anybody watching at this point, we're gonna do a segment that's in honor of You Just Got to See This, and it's one of these things when I saw it, my You Just Got to See This, and I'll often my sense of humor is things that causes people pain.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not physically pain, but I like to watch these guys and just have
pain in the mind.
Oh no! Why did you?
Pain in the
show that?
mind. The mind pain.
I'm scarred for life, but I'm set
for life.
Dude, this is one of those moments where you're gonna understand King Ad Hocs. You just got to see this moment. So here we go. Stand by and tune out if you're gun shy. So here we go. I'm sharing my screen, and
okay.
this is not a video. It starts off with this lovely girl. Now, this lovely girl, she looks pretty good, she's a good looking girl. But it's a mugshot. You can see it's a mugshot.
Okay.
This is so we're gonna go over to
I'm worried. Are you worried, BB?
I'm a little worried. I'm always worried.
this is the other side of the mugshot. Not looking
the
so
front.
good there.
No, not great.
Looking so
Okay.
good. Hold on, let me. Okay, wait. Yeah, okay. That's the full mugshot.
Okay.
It's like, yeah, she looks 27-year-old girl. Here you're like, not really sure what age she is, but she hasn't slept in a long time.
She has not slept. Yeah, that's
really
a lot of math.
Strung out on drugs. Okay.
Okay.
Well, she's 27, and here's what
27 is Morrison's death. 27 Club.
Boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. All right.
What?
Yeah, you read that right. Morgue worker arrested after giving birth to a dead man's baby. That's her. So,
Whoa.
a 26-year-old morgue worker was arrested this morning in Detroit after a DNA test revealed that her newborn child was the result of a necrophiliac intercourse with a man she was supposed to autopsy. Jennifer Burrows, an assistant pathologist with the Jackson County Medical Examiner Services, is accused of having sex with dozens of corpses over the last 2 years.
Thanks, Ad Hoc. Fuck you. Fuck you, Ad Hoc. Fuck you, Ad Hoc.
This is a real story, posted May 21st, 2001.
Still, fuck you, Ad Hoc.
This came across my phone like national news. Like, okay, so I'm
Makes
sorry.
you wonder what else
life,
you
and I'm
Google.
reading this and I'm thinking, when you hear about, we all knew necrophilia, but this is like a real person that actually did it, and it really made me feel weird in a new kind of way. Let's continue, shall we? Jennifer Burrows. According to Kansas City, Missouri. Okay. Her baby is the son of a man who died in a car accident in March 2017 and whose body she was supposed to autopsy. They allege she sexually abused more than 60 other dead bodies belonging to males aged 17 to 71. Here's the quote from the cops. We opened an investigation into this case in October after we were informed that, I'm going to do my voice, that the suspect may have been sexually abusing the corpses, Police Chief Forte told reporters. We accumulated enough evidence over the last few months to obtain a warrant for a paternity test on her newborn son. it confirmed our suspicions that the father of her child was indeed a 57-year-old veterinarian from Texas who was driving through the country when he had a fatal car accident. All the evidence that we have gathered suggests that he never met Miss Burroughs before his demise and that he was already dead when the body was conceived. There are no current, check this. There are no current laws, state or federal, governing or explicitly outlawing the practice of necrophilia since the corpse is considered human remains and no longer living. Therefore, she basically got off scot-free.
She did.
It is technically legal in the state of Missouri, and Miss Burroughs' actions are judged as an indecent treatment of a corpse. She's facing a total of 158 charges. So they wrote they 158. They thought they're like, if we can't charge you for, we're going to throw the book at you, everything, right? Including indecent treatment of a corpse, disorderly conduct, indecent exposure, and possession of illegal drugs. The psychologists and experts that we interviewed were divided in their interpretation of Miss Burroughs' case. Some, like Professor Isabella Ramirez of the university, believe the young woman was suffering from a psychosis and had at least partially lost any notion of reality. Others, like Dr. Gerald Porter, a well-known psychologist and expert in sexual disorders, associated the institute, believe that the accused is certainly a compulsive necrophiliac and that her choice of profession was inspired by her sexual deviation in the first place. All seem to agree, however, that the 26-year-old woman was suffering from mental problems and that she will probably register a plea of insanity. So, back to her. I mean, one thing to be caught doing this, and you're a fucking corpse fucker. However, let's talk about her child, whether it's a son or a daughter. What do you tell the kids at school?
All right, so here's the thing. Couple of notes.
Daughter of a corpse fucker. Son of a corpse fucker. You gotta take the kid away from the parent. And you know what kids who are adopted always love to do in about their 18, when they're legally adult? They always love to go and find out who their parent was. Well, in this case, when you're the adopted parent of this child who's certainly going to be taken away from this train wreck of a woman, you got to tell the kid, no, seriously, you don't want to investigate this. But what happens when you tell a human you don't want to do something? They want to do it more. And so at some point, her child,
like telling you
find out
that we don't want to know this information.
What do you do?
To tell us even more.
This is real. That happened in real life. And the thing is, we have social media. 20 years ago, we would have never heard of that story, but it probably may have happened somewhere else. Maybe even 20 years before that. Because necrophilia has been in the Webster's dictionary for quite a long time. Therefore, people know it exists. What drives a person to do that? How gross is that? I mean,
all right, let's leave it at that. How gross is that? Thanks, Adam. That was very enlightening and fuck.
Start for life.
But I'm set for life.
You're not set for life. Not after
there
that.
Was a, you know what? What's fucked up? This is actually tapping into another weird moment in my life that did not occur at a funeral home. Go ahead.
A couple of notes on this one. That's the second week in a row that we've had a necrophilia reference as well.
Really?
Yes, we referenced.
Oh, was it?
We referenced Caligula last week.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
and then this happened in real life this week.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Caligula.
Are we living in a simulation?
Maybe
always.
So two things on the story.
It would explain the bugs of the big room.
Two things on the story. One, there's a decent chance that's not a real story.
Okay.
There's a decent chance that's not a real story. I just fact checked it, and most of your fact checking websites are saying that's not that person doesn't actually do that. so that
But
it's
it
not
says
as
Detroit Daily News from Detroit,
Well,
Michigan.
I was wondering how the ejaculation would work.
Well, but here's the thing: the fact-checking websites that I just looked at, Snopes and the AP Press, both say that this actual story didn't actually happen. It comes from a website called the Dead Side or something like that, and it's been quoted, and there's a bunch of different links that were put out that look like actual press releases, but it's not real. However, they are saying that dead men can ejaculate up to 24 hours after death, and that you would be surprised at how often sperm is stolen from dead men. That it is a thing that happens.
I think any human brain should be surprised.
Yeah.
Yeah, if the
What's
number
the
was
value in that fucking?
if the number was more
But you
than
don't know
one,
anything about the fucking corpse. I mean, if he's a genius, yeah, you want to
Doesn't
have
matter.
a baby, but if he's a fucking total loser,
Why? Yeah, but
why
there
would
are
you
like
be
sperm.
inseminated by
Yeah,
a random fucking person that you know nothing about.
that
even
happens
so,
all
how
the
many?
time.
Even so, how many?
Usually, there's alcohol involved, not death.
How
But
many
there's sperm
humans have been
banks. You can sell to a sperm bank.
right? But the sperm originally came from a viable.
That's
human,
true.
right?
On the premises.
Hopefully,
Unless
type of-
that would say that there's a link where the sperm donor site
right?
makes an unholy union with a.
Which makes me
funeral.
wonder how many
good point, Mom.
how many humans have ever been brought to
Existence?
fruition into existence with sperm taken from a dead person.
3.
Wow. Oh yeah, there's
And one is
three-
Donald Trump.
One is Donald
statistically
Trump,
that's
right?
more than 0.
Yeah, it's more than 0, right? You would think it probably is more than 0.
Well,
They
statistically,
said you'd be surprised.
more than-
They said
yeah.
you'd be surprised. And I'm
Wow,
surprised.
man.
If it was 1, I'm surprised.
Gross.
Wait, well, if it
I'm
was one, if it's one, I'm not surprised because humans just in general would be like, I wonder if I could jerk off that corpse, and someone's gonna do it. And go, holy shit, he fucking came! I can't believe that corpse got hard and came. Never
I
gonna
can't
do
believe
that
I
again.
just did that.
But I'm never doing that again. That freaked me out.
Bro.
But then if it becomes a thing, and then if somebody,
I hate humans.
Oh, well,
Dude.
okay. So I'll tell you
Babies.
this about cockroaches. Cockroaches can have babies
Excellent
after
segue.
they're decapitated.
well,
Don't
sure,
ask me
sure,
how
good
much
anybody.
Well, you can ask
Apparently,
me.
so
I've
can humans.
decapitated.
Humans.
When I lived in North Carolina, we had a cockroach problem, and it wasn't due to
They were
any
huge.
uncleanliness issues. It was that like
No, it was
we
a very
lived
clean
under-
house. It was just the
I don't know
environment.
what our neighbors did, but they would. It was just something about like the heat in North Carolina. Like you'd see them running across the street
Humidity.
in daylight.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and it's like as you go further south, they just live with fucking
Instead
bugs.
of ants, they have cockroaches.
Gross.
That's
And
it.
like when I moved to North Carolina, I was like, it freaked me the fuck out. And then I remember going to Atlanta, Georgia, and being at a gas station and pulling in and seeing them all over the ground. And then I was like, I needed gas, so I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try to pump this gas. Like I'm on empty.
I'm gonna
And
spray
there
the
was a
gas
bug
and
that
light
was
it on
this big,
fire.
and it was a cockroach that was like 3 inches, 3 fucking inches, 4 inches long, with wings, and then it flew. It got like 4. They couldn't fly like 10 feet, but they could get like 4 off the ground, and you hear this, and I was like,
Yeah,
ah! And it was like a nightmare for me growing up in PA because we don't have cockroach problems up in PA
Not like that.
unless they're German small cockroaches, and you're filthy, like you live in filth, which we never.
Which I did.
you know.
in
Man,
Pittsburgh in
oh, that's
college.
true. In
Joe
Pittsburgh,
Hammer
we
Square.
have that issue, yeah.
Oh yeah, we were.
Oh my god! But down in North Carolina,
Something
we had
special.
the 2-inch long non-German cockroaches, the black ones, and like my buddy, my roommate Damien, he was like, "Adam, get the
Yeah.
knife," and he would love to see me hunt down the knife, and so we just made a killing game out of it, to where, it was like dunk 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 dunk, and I would take on this cockroach and with just a knife, like no shoe, I had a knife. And my aim was to decapitate the cockroach, and I got pretty good at it.
And then watch it have
one
sex
time,
with.
one time I decapitated a cockroach and I see it starting to eject a little pill-like seed. Its birth instinct was to still have the baby. Like it was I saw a cockroach. It looks like a little cat, and it was like, and like if you watch like what's that movie? Like insects can still have like reflexes after they're dead.
Yes.
Starship Troopers.
Yeah.
A dude gets killed from that, Well, that shit's fucking real with insects.
Yes.
But apparently in humans, that's how strong our reproductive thing is. That apparently you can still get a hard on, like you're dead, but those sense organs are still like able to
procreate.
WTF? Number one. Number two, I thought about. You remember in Highlander, like when the woman throws herself on the pyre, like she wants to throw herself on the burning pyre of her corpse, and that used to be a thing, right? Well, if you were a wife of somebody who died in battle, I could see at that point necrophilia being kind of okay. Think about it. Your husband you're living in the days of Highlander. He goes into a sword battle. He gets decapitated or whatever, comes back dead, and you're the mourning wife, and it's your duty. You can it's the culture and the custom. You can't remarry, or maybe like you can't. Like you're supposed to die with your husband. Like there was a point in certain cultures, right, where the woman she's supposed to dive on the pyre. Now,
I think you saw a different.
They throw themselves on the casket, but they don't die.
I think you saw a different Highlander.
Let him have one.
I don't remember that in Highlander, but
I think you saw a different Highlander movie.
I see where you're going with this. I don't want to go here.
I mean, the point is that if you die, like
suck ad hoc.
No, if you die, and like you weren't able to bear. Now, here's the other thing. You look at World War I, World War II, all the wars, even every war, every single war in America that we experienced, that we've seen. The birth rates shoot up right before the war. They do. Fact. Because, I might not see it again. Let's try to procreate a child. That's what fucking humans do. And so
boomers.
If you go to a battle and it's back in the day where you weren't flying overseas, but you were just kind of fighting your neighboring, like somebody invades a fucking thing and you die. I mean, at that point, you got one last shot to conceive a child. I mean, I don't know, but maybe that's where necrophilia started. But I don't know. That's a fucking weird story. I couldn't believe it came across my news feed.
I'm fairly certain necrophilia started. By the way, I think that next week in the description of our show, we have to write. We naturally talk about necrophilia much more often than you'd think. 2 weeks running.
And we would like to admit,
2 weeks running. Let's see what happens tonight.
Did I sign off? I don't remember it last week. For Christ's sakes.
Yeah, dude. You remember you disappeared because the kid woke up and couldn't go back to sleep.
Oh yeah. That's when it happened.
It must have happened then. Yeah.
Man.
It was me. It was definitely me, Hawk, and Cramp. We're talking about it.
You guys are fucked up.
Well, it
put on your pants in front of somebody else when they're playing guitar.
Well,
it was the movie Caligula that we were talking about. And,
hey, look, this we went a full episode.
I think that's where it got started, dude. I think it was the fucking Romans. Yeah, the Romans.
Gotcha.
Where the whole
Caligula type. Man, that's messed up.
What can we fuck?
It's ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous.
And you know it was a guy that started. It was a guy fucking a dead woman first. Like that's where it started. It wasn't a woman riding a dead guy's cock. That's how necrophilia got started.
Oh, talk about dark humor though. I sent that to a couple of my friends, and I said, "Hey, look, guys, I guess it ain't always about the money."
What,
it ain't, because like a lot of single guys are like, she just, you know what I mean? Like, you don't gotta, it's like you're alive and you ain't getting laid. Here you got a girl that's fucking corpses. She ain't doing it for the money.
Oh, you know what? I would love to. I would love a. I don't really. I would really love it, but I would be curious because
Yeah.
it does seem that you dedicated a fair amount of time to thinking about this after that story because you're very adamant
Yeah.
about a lot of it.
I'm a cerebral person.
I like that. I like that. I like
And
the fact that
it went into my brain like a worm. And then it just, at that point I couldn't stop.
it, it germinated like a dead man's sperm.
Oh my God. I can't get her
It germinated like a
rotting out
rotting,
of my head.
a rotting corpse's sperm in your brain.
Yes.
It germinated like that.
Corpse.
All right. Well, I have not yet created a standalone only us middle ground credits, but that's on.
That doesn't matter. I like to see I just think that as people join us, they should just get added. It should just be like one standard credit that has everybody. Wizard Beard summons and then just like flash through like all of them. Bam, 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 bam.
No, dude, it's gonna be it's gonna be way too long. It's gonna be way too long.
So you want to it seems more complicated to have different endings.
It's complicated and impossible. It's impossible to have all the combinations. There's no way to have all the combinations, but we can have a few singles and a few doubles, and then one that is for, when no one shows up, and one that for when more than two show up.
Well, we can't show videos of stuff we don't own, but we can certainly share news articles. So,
wait, time to.
You ain't gonna one up that news article for quite a while, though.
No, it is time to say goodbye, though. The question is, do we want to play the one that we've been playing, or do we want to play one that we haven't played before?
Oh,
since nobody showed up,
probably one that we've never played before. In the meantime, we have like 3 minutes. Let's play like a video, a live footage of Kiss from the TV show Fridays.
No. Here's what I was going to suggest about this. I'll tell you why.
Yeah, we do.
I think if we're going to do any videos from now on, since we can risk our account,
157.
what we need to do is we need to.
That's how long we've been live. It's not what time it is.
We're going to have to do like an hour and then roll credits like we normally do after 2 hours. We can do it after 1 hour. The first hour is just talk. The second hour is like we can show videos, but we know it'll get deleted because all the stuff from YouTube gets deleted instantly. Like the YouTube.
That's true.
All these episodes, like none of them. If you go on YouTube, there's like 2 fucking episodes. Like we've only ever done 2 episodes because we always
will be one of them.
They delete the whole thing. So let's start rolling credits and actually end the thing. And at least we have something preserved on YouTube for my nephews to watch 10 years from now. Take care too.
Thank goodness.
I don't understand.
A corpse
with
no children.
I would love my children to find
my corpse makeup on.
There's something not clicking right in my
corpse
brain.
bride.
Something not clicking in BB's brain.
For whatever ad hoc's plan is there.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, BB. What is it?
I don't understand the 1 hour play the credits and then
we would have to end and restart a segment and then
that's not gonna happen, dude.
At least the first hour of our conversation would be preserved because the second hour is going to get deleted as soon as we start sharing videos. If not our entire account, but
right, so we don't share the videos until we figure it out. And we just keep running the way that we are, dude. We're not gonna talk for a fucking hour and then go, okay, everyone, later, and then quit broadcasting and what?
Come back with the weird show.
Come back with the new link to the different stream that we got.
Hey, humans, thank you so much for coming to the big room. Because we know you don't have to. You have your own life to lead. But every week you come back again and again because you're that type of human.
Yeah.
To experience us talking about the types of humans that we are. Dear God, what's wrong with you? And thank you for being here again and again in the big room. We do love you madly.
And even though he couldn't be
BB
here
Rumble.
tonight, I promised it to him for so long I'm going to run it for Krampus in the event that he
Monsieur
happens to
Krampus.
check out the video during the week. Good night, all.
Good choice. Later, bros.
Counter.
He encountered Farpoint. And that was the cue.
Wizard Man!
What?
Coming from the Romanian desert.
No.
Rubber!
Nice. I gotta ask: welcome back to the big room after hours? But
I think Ad Hoc got super drunk, by the way, and must have signed off and not realized what was happening.
possibly. But I'm right there with him. But the Kiss Destroyer,
Yeah.
is that new?
Yes,
I
that's
love
new.
it. It's so beautiful. And there's also another new thing after that I'm too drunk to remember what it
The
is.
stars.
Yes. Oh, yes. The galaxy
Yeah.
with the man sitting watching it. I love it.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the video clip of us of the summoning of Cramp, but it was
I walked away. I had to piss.
it was from the it's from you'll see it, but it's from the Encounter at Farpoint conversation. It happened right
Really?
he popped in right then, and so I grabbed that section where you go if something I go encounter you go right Encounter at Farpoint, and then that's when Krampus pops in.
What?
Yeah, that was when he got summoned last week or 2 weeks ago. I don't remember.
Interesting.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. It was 2 weeks ago.
Okay. I got to see this because I can't. We were talking and the words are in it.
Yeah, it's the same as like like any of the other ones were like Wizard Beard. What? Oh, Wizard Beard.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Right.
like that's what it's
Gotcha.
like.
Gotcha. We're talking about the Encounter Farpoint.
Right,
Nice.
right.
Nice.
It's good. We have a cramp. I have a cramp rev. I have the typical closing. I want to get one that's with that we would have used tonight. That has nobody being summoned. I have some funny ideas for how to arrange that video. And
Okay.
then kind of a catch-all video. So whenever we have a day wherever some combination that we don't have shows up.
Uh-huh.
And I'd like to have it be accurate to whoever shows up as much as possible.
That'd be
So,
wonderful.
right?
Right.
That would be awesome.
Right. Now, on Twitch, on our Twitch account, is somebody going in and saving these episodes? Or are they only being saved on our YouTube channel, right?
YouTube, and there's somewhere on Facebook, I think, right? There's somewhere.
Unless we get bumped. But
Right.
as long as it's on YouTube. Secondly, what was your favorite Next Generation episode? We discussed it weeks. Yeah, we discussed it in weeks past, and you were talking about how it was mind blowing and on all these levels. It wasn't the episode with where Data has a child, was it? Was it that one?
That's a great episode, though.
That's the one that's been popping up. Like last night, I put it on. Like when I went to have background as I was doing something right before bed.
Yeah.
And I was like, that was the modality I wanted was Star Wars or Star Trek Next Generation. And that was the episode.
Yeah, that's a great
It's
episode.
fucking wonderful, man. It's brilliant. I only watched like the first
guy.
I only got about 25 minutes into it. Again,
that's one of the episodes that I frequently would tear up to when I watched it, just because the Admiral guy nails it at the end. Just whatever.
I'll watch it the whole way through.
Yeah, the Admiral guy nails it at the end. Just there's a scene wherever, the basic gist of it is Data's created a daughter, and Starfleet, this one admiral in particular, decides we're going to take her and study her.
Mm-hmm.
You can come with us, but that's your option. We need to study this. And
it's their right to do so. He believes it's his right to abduct a child for study.
Right, because they don't at a base level, it's shown that even after season 2, Measure of a Man, where they kind of go, Data is a sentient being.
Right.
They haven't extended those rights to offspring or other creations.
Not only that, sorry, go ahead.
And Lol, which is the daughter's name, what Data names her, Lol begins to experience emotions in the episode. She begins to go, what is this? She doesn't. She can't comprehend it. There's a feeling inside her, and she's trying to describe it. And Troy is calling Data like, something's happening. I feel emotions coming from your daughter, and
the machine,
and this machine, and she starts to cascade. There's like a cascade failure happening, and the Admiral's like, can I assist you? Data's like, I need to try to reroute and work around this. And the Admiral's like, can I help? Can I assist you? And he's like, yes, please. And then they work on it. They go in together, and he comes walking out. The Admiral comes walking out, and he's like, there's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do. And he sells it with this. He said, I've never seen anything's hands move that quickly. He was moving so quickly to stop the cascade, and that nothing he did was fast enough. But he wouldn't stop. He wouldn't quit. He just kept trying, and just the way he says it, he's attaching an emotion to it that like Data is just focused 100% on. I will not let my daughter die. And then ultimately he realizes I have to. And there's a great scene where the daughter is saying, I love you, Father, and Data saying, I wish that I could return that sentiment. I wish that I could also feel that. And she said, show. And she pulls out this great, I will feel it for both of us. And because she has it's a fucking awesome scene. Great scene. But my personal favorite episode is The Inner Light. The
Inner Light.
Yeah. The Inner Light, which is when there's this probe, and this probe shoots a beam at Picard. And Picard lives an entire...
Oh, 70, that's the one. Yeah,
70,
yeah. In France.
No, it's on a foreign planet that he's never heard of before.
Oh, I thought it was this little like French. Okay.
No, he lives the whole 70 years. So yeah, he has a wife and kids and grandkids and abandoned
in France.
No, and abandons his entire Enterprise life. Abandons everything, just forgets about it, and then ultimately you find out that the planet got destroyed.
It was an internal, right?
Yeah, the planet got destroyed thousands of years ago, and when Picard comes back, he's like, how long was I gone? And Riker's like, 10, 11 minutes. And Picard's like, minutes? Like, what? You know, like, he just get, and then the one thing that's left in the probe is the flute that he learned how to play.
Right.
You know, and the flute's become this iconic
Yeah.
prop. You know,
Yeah.
it's an iconic prop, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is great. I got to see it. I got to see the prop. That was awesome.
Yeah, you did. That's right. That's right.
In
That's
St.
right.
Louis. Yeah. By sheer chance in St. Louis. I was on my way back from a cross country trip. We were staying in St. Louis for 3 days. We went to check out the arch, and we found out that there was a fucking
The flute.
traveling. Yeah, there was a Star Trek traveling exhibit that had all kinds of. They had Khan's original uniform, Montalban's uniform. Yeah, they had so many different things from the original series. It was awesome.
Ah. Oh man.
But yeah, that's a great episode. Law's a great episode. Yesterday's Enterprise is a great episode where the Enterprise from before this one, the Enterprise C, kind of gets sucked forward in time and changes history, and Yar is still alive. And
Yes, I just watched that a couple weeks ago.
yeah,
I
it's
love
all,
that episode. And she falls in love with
right.
a Mr. Bad Guy, by the way.
Yeah,
He's like
right,
an
yeah.
80s Mr. Bad Guy. But nevertheless, it's
Not a
like,
bad guy in the show, though.
not at all. Not at
Yeah.
all. But like I just love fuck.
But I think that
Gyna's response to what's happening.
Guinan, yeah.
Guinan, yeah, whoopies. You
Yeah.
know, it's excellent episode. Man,
Oh, yeah,
it was so good.
Yeah.
And you it was a not a merciless death. It was
What was he talking about? We are?
yeah, it was a something.
It was a
senseless.
Yeah.
It's not the words, but yeah, it was a senseless death.
She says
Death.
it was a death without meaning. You know, it was.
Yeah, and so therefore it was, well, there is no death without meaning. It's only it only represents what reality perspective of all of these different dimensions. And there was like this another reaction to a life, and it kind of ties in what you were just talking about with that last episode. That it's nothing is time does not exist. Right. All times exist. Besides time sits beside itself, and all things can be accessed through the experience of acknowledging a moment.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Picard season 2. I don't know what they're planning, what they're doing. I hope that they, they've got the technology, obviously, to interact with multiple sequences of events. I would love to see something like that happening.
Yeah.
And Delancey, the guy that played Q, said, they're filming back to back seasons 2 and 3. So it's got to be some sort of
excellent
storyline happening.
Nobody knows.
Dude,
how old is he now, man? Come on,
80, he's 80 something.
He's wonderful.
Yeah,
good.
He's 80 something, but he's definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd love to see that happen there, because there were a few. Dude, I fucking first episode of Picard of the new season, I cried. Like the first, very first episode, just whenever he's playing cards with Data. Have you watched any of it?
Oh, yeah.
When he's playing cards with Data,
yeah,
and he says that line of, I don't want the game to end.
Yeah,
yeah. That's just so
it's pretty honorable and all encompassing.
And it kind of it expands beyond the character. It's in some degrees it's Patrick Stewart talking.
Yeah,
at that age, at this point, having played Professor X, having played Picard, I don't want the game to end. And like you said, he said when they announced the original Picard, where he was just like, 5 years ago, he was like, 5 years ago, I never thought I would ever be back as Picard. I was very proud of the years I put in as the character. I thought the storyline was done, and then they came to me with this script, and it just hit me. I was like, I could see why. I could see why, because it related to, I think, him on his own human level, not just the character.
Right.
So I'm really looking for. I hope that and it was a great season. Like I said, the ending disappointing. I wish I could have been in that room. I wish I could have talked to them and said, "No, you guys are dropping the ball on this ending."
Do you think they did it because I haven't seen it. I haven't seen the end of that first season. But do you think they did it because they believed that was it?
No.
That
wasn't the problem. That wasn't the problem.
Just bullshit.
It was
corporate bullshit.
It was so. I almost.
All right, we'll talk about it.
I almost hope that a studio, that somebody outside of the Star Trek universe, got involved and was like, no. The climactic scene has to be like a giant spider, or whatever.
Right. Right.
Yeah, that it had to be something like that, because it was very disappointing. The ending was, to me anyway. Not everyone felt that way. Some people were like, "Oh yeah, it was great." Me and K Rock and Dave D, our Dave D,
right?
All of us were like, "That didn't."
Right.
Why? So
I must shut this down. I must say adios.
Yeah, that definitely works for me.
Awesome. I love you guys. I greatly appreciate this moment that we have in our lives to reconnect to all of the decades of moments that we've experienced. Fuck, oh man, like it was pretty great to experience, the birth of the You Just Gotta See This. And man, I wish I didn't see the last thing that was brought into the You Just Got to See This. But I've often said that many times about the things that BB brought into the You Just Got to See This world.
It's definitely a
you'll never be the same. You can't it should be titled You Can't Unsee This.
See this, yeah.
Yeah. But nevertheless, don't even try. Don't even try. But we will always guide you here in the big room to see and experience the world outside the one that you are currently living, so that you can be a more expansive soul. And we do love you that way.
We'll be here again next week.
Every Wednesday.
Every Wednesday. You never know if there's anything in between. Who knows?
Eastern Standard Time, 9 p.m. in the United States. Until 11 p.m., maybe more.
And remember,
until then,
ever murder somebody unless you're absolutely sure they deserve it.
You can get away with it.
And you can get away with it.
Don't ever hit somebody don't ever punch somebody unless you're absolutely sure you can get away with it. What movie is that? See you next week. Courthouse in Big Room.
I'm scarred for life, but I'm set for life, and I'm set for life, but I'm scarred for life, and I'm coming at you. I'm fucking crazy. I'm fucking fucking insane.
That's the fucking chorus right there.
You nailed it, dude. You nailed it. You nailed it, and you visually transformed into fucking Joe Rogan.
You did.
You fucking,
Joe Rogan, yeah.
Yeah, you did. You visually transformed into Joe Rogan. It was amazing.